Today's topic, we are going to be talking about tires. Tires are a very important thing on a motorcycle, everybody knows that. But there are a couple of myths that, you know, many new riders and even some experienced riders still hold true to their heart, and I want to talk about these few myths. Myth number one, most of your braking power comes from your brakes. A lot of people think that, you know, if they want to better their braking ability on the bike, buy or upgrade to better brakes. This is absolutely false. Now, the truth of the matter is that in reality, most of your braking power is going to come from your tires, not your brakes. Any stock braking system on a bike is often more than enough, you know, for braking in your day-to-day purposes. Unless you are racing, then maybe you might want to think about something else, but otherwise stock is usually fine. This is not the same for tires. If you have upgraded to the best Brembo brakes but you still have shitty tires, then, well, no matter how well you brake, you're still gonna skid, you're still gonna fall, because the tires are what actually generates the friction, the drag to slow down your machine, not your brakes. Myth number two, the tread is how you see whether your tire needs to be replaced or not. This myth is, you know, this kind of thinking is both true and false. If your tire is bald, then obviously you should be, you know, changing your tires by now. But that is not the primary way you are going to tell whether a tire is due for replacement or not. The real way is the date when the tire was manufactured. Most manufacturers, they recommend a lifespan of up to 5 years. For other enthusiasts, they recommend at most, you know, 2 years. But everybody will agree, even the most cheapskate rider will say that, you know, 10 years is the maximum. If you have anything more than 10 years, you have to change your tires. That is when even a brand new tire, that means a tire that was sitting in a warehouse somewhere for 10 years and never been used, that's when that tire is not good anymore, because rubber hardens and dries up and rots over time, and they are no longer effective in, you know, maintaining traction. When you are using old tires that are dry and brittle, you might as well be riding without tires. They are just like, you know, putting metal rails on your bike and then just having a go at it. So manufacturers usually recommend maximum 5 years. After 5 years, if you still want to be cheapskate about it, make sure to go for an annual inspection to make sure that, you know, those tires are still good to go. But usually I recommend to change it even before then, because most tires are, you know, made of pretty hard compounds and don't last as long. Myth number three is to increase your tire, the contact patch on your tire to get more traction and thus more stability. Lower your air pressure. That is blatantly false. You only want to lower your air pressure below what is recommended in certain situations, like, you know, when you're racing and the tires do really get very, very hot, or you are riding on soft terrain. The thing is that, you know, for most riders that ride on the street like I do and you do, most likely, we are not going to achieve the kind of speeds that racers would to heat up the tires and, you know, increase the air pressure that is already in the tires, because it's basic physics. Hot air expands. That's why racers, they sometimes they keep their air pressure slightly lower to accommodate that expansion. So by the time the tires warm up, you know, those they've got the exact correct pressure. But on street bikes like mine, there is no such need for any accommodation. Just use the recommended cold tire air pressure that your mechanic gives you or the tire mentions, and you're good to go. The reason you shouldn't have air pressures too low is because it makes your bike less stable. It also makes your tires prone to tearing, makes your tires, if they are tube type, prone to having the tube explode, and that's not a good thing. Like I said, the only time you want to actually have slightly lower air pressure is on soft terrain, off-road moments, because that is when, you know, the kind of terrain you're in isn't going to impact your tire as much. The ground is soft, whereas on a hard road it's going to damage your tires. The other thing is those exact same soft grounds require soft tires to maintain the same level of traction. The last myth I want to talk about is probably about tire size. A lot of riders think that, you know, like those tires, they're pretty skinny. If you upgraded your tires to something larger, like let's say you have a 140 original stock tire and you went up to 160, you're gonna get a bigger contact patch and thus more stability, more braking, more traction. The truth is, that is not right. In fact, if you went several sizes up on your stock tire size, you're in fact probably gonna be getting a thinner contact patch, you know, straight up than before. The whole physics and dynamics of tires is a bit more complicated than that, but in short is that if your rims were originally meant to fit 140, your bike was meant to fit 140 and run that way. If you went up to 160, for example, you are actually pinching that larger tire around a smaller rim, and thus what you're getting is a steeper curve at the tip of the round of the tire. So you're getting a smaller contact patch if your bike is straight up. Of course, with that same you know, logic applied, this means that now you're shifting more rubber to the corners, because now your tire is a bit taller, so the rubber is shifted to the sides. So when you are turning in a corner, there is a bit more contact patch right there, but it's complicated, so you can't really just take it at face value that, you know, if I go up from 140 to 160, I'm getting more traction, which is absolutely false. So what do you think about this video? Do you think there are many more myths about tires and wheels in general that is a common held belief among Singaporean riders? Share them down in the comments below, and if you like this video, do give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, do remember to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon if you want to be notified of any more new videos from me coming up in the future, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.